Yes, well, the Israeli government, as you alluded to there, suggesting that if there is, for every further 10 hostages released, there would be a further pause in hostilities. So we hope that there will be more released over coming days, Assistant Minister.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's an incentive built into this arrangement for Hamas to release all of those hostages. If that pause on hostilities is going to continue, then Hamas will have to release further hostages. And the 50 is a welcome development, but that leaves about another 200 still in captivity that should be released as quickly as possible.
The Prime Minister gave a forceful reminder of his support for the Jewish community and for Israel. He spoke at the reopening of the Holocaust Museum in Melbourne. The opposition leader says it's a time for moral clarity on these matters. Is that what the PM provided in that speech today?
I think the PM provided what all Australians want, and that's a sense of unity, that we condemn acts of violence and anti-Semitism and the division that we've seen in the Australian community. And no one should try and seek to use the conflict in the Middle East as an opportunity to divide the Australian people. And we've seen some shocking situations of anti-Semitism across Australia, including in my electorate here, which I've condemned. And I think the Prime Minister's forceful words today are a timely reminder that peace and stability and harmony in our society are fragile things, and they require leadership and they require all Australians to abide by that wonderful covenant we have here in Australia of respecting people of all faiths and all cultures and all ethnic backgrounds.
Your colleague Jason Clare said that it was the classroom is the place for students, and that's where they should remain tomorrow, not at this strike for Palestine, this school strike for Palestine. What's your message to parents or families that might be considering supporting their kids to get out of school and to go to this thing?
Yeah, look, I appreciate that younger Australians want to have a voice in international affairs and want to have their say, and that's fine, but it shouldn't happen during school hours. The school system is there to educate younger Australians, and if kids are going to take time off school for these sort of things, then obviously it's going to affect their education. And I would have thought that perhaps a better way for kids to express their opinions would be to try and stoke up a conversation in the classroom, particularly those in high school, about these issues with their teachers and have a sensible debate about the issues and allow people to put their points of view just as we do in a democracy. And that's a way that I think that younger Australians can express their views without having to jeopardise their education and take days off school.
Finally, Clare O'Neil, the Home Affairs Minister, indicating the government is looking at all options when it comes to that cohort of people that were released from detention, including preventative detention orders. Do you think we might see some movement on that as early as the beginning of next week when Parliament returns?
As Claire's outlined, the priority for the government at the moment is keeping Australians safe. And that's why we passed those urgent measures through the Parliament last week to ensure that we have the mechanisms in place to try and keep the Australian people as safe as possible. This is something that we're continually monitoring, Kieran, and as the Home Affairs Minister said, it may require further measures to be put in place, including those preventative detention orders. Now, they predominantly relate to anti-terrorism situations and stopping terrorist acts. So there may be some legislative reform required, but that's being looked at the moment. And if there's the need to put further measures in place, then the government won't hesitate to act.
Assistant Defence Minister Matt Thistlethwaite, talk to you soon.
Pleasure, Kieran. Thanks, mate.